anybody watching the Olympics? If you have been watching, good, because I haven't. I've just been keeping up with the headlines. Team USA, the men's basketball team, they continue to win. I don't think they've lost yet. They almost lost to South Sudan. I think that's the team. And Simone Biles' hair, being messy, went viral for some odd reason. So that was on people's minds, and that was a high talking point throughout people's days. And now it seems like the recent controversy in the Olympics are these two supposed transgender boxers. Second boxer embroiled in gender controversy wins Olympic match. Lin Yuting of Taiwan won her fight against Sitora Turdibekova of Uzbekistan by unanimous decision at the Paris Olympics on Friday. The second of the two female boxers whose gender identities have recently been scrutinized won her first fight at the Paris Olympics on Friday. Lin Yuting of Taiwan defeated Sitora Turd of Uzbekistan. Is that Russian? Uzbekistan in the 57 pounds? That can't be right. Round of 16 match by unanimous decision and advanced to the quarterfinals. Her victory follows Thursday's win by Algeria's Imane Khelif, whose gender identity has also come into question. Recent days prompting a social media firestorm. The participation of Lin and Khelif in Olympic women's boxing has sparked global outrage in recent days after reports resurfaced that the pair failed to meet gender eligibility tests at the Women's World Boxing Championships in New Delhi last year. Sporting officials at the time alleged that the boxers failed an unspecified test because they had male chromosomes. Lin and Khelif have always competed in women's events, including at the Tokyo Olympics, and there is no indication that either identities as transgender or intersex, the latter referring to those born with sex characteristics that do not fit strictly into the male-female gender binary. On Thursday, tensions over the pair's participation came to a head when Khelif's opponent Angela Carini of Italy quit 40 seconds into the match. "It's terrible," she said right after the match. "It isn't fair, it isn't fair, it isn't fair." Carini later told reporters that she ended Thursday's fight because she felt a severe pain in her nose. She added that she did not believe she was qualified to comment on whether Khelif should have been allowed to compete. The fight prompted outrage online, largely from prominent figures who are frequently criticized for their remarks about transgender. People including former President Donald Trump, tech billionaire Elon Musk, and Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. "I will keep men out of women's sports," Trump wrote on a social media site, Truth Social. Politicians and sporting officials from the boxers' home countries defended them this week. "When I met boxer Lin Yuting, I saw an athlete who is fearless in the face of challenges, whether they come from inside or outside the ring," Taiwan's former president Tsai Ing-wen wrote on X Friday ahead of Lin's match. "Today, when she represents #Taiwan on the Olympic stage, we will all be behind her and all the Taiwanese Olympians making us proud. The Algerian Olympic and Sports Committee celebrated Khelif's win on Thursday across several social media platforms. "We are proud of you and look forward to seeing you shine even more in the next stages," one of the translated Facebook posts said. The Russian-led International Boxing Association, the sporting body that disqualified Lin and Khelif from the World Championships last year, reiterated its decision to bar both women from competition following Khelif's win on Thursday. The IBA will never support any boxing bouts between the genders as the organization puts the safety and well-being of our athletes first. The IBA, in a statement, "We are protecting our women and their rights to compete in the ring against equal rivals, and we will defend and support them in all instances. Their hopes and dreams must never be taken away by organizations unwillingly to do the right thing under difficult circumstances." Friday, there was a press conference. International Olympic Committee spokesman Mark Adams questioned the unspecified gender test the IBA claimed Lin and Khelif failed last year. "We have no knowledge of what the tests were," he said. "They were cobbled together, and I understand overnight to change the results. IOC determines whether competitors should compete with men or women based off of the gender marker on their passports. At Friday's press conference, Adams also called for an end to the vitriol directed at both boxers. What I would urge is that we try to take the culture war out of this and actually address the issues and think about the individuals and people concerned. Adams said real damage is being done by misinformation. Some LGBTQ athletes and observers are warning that the misinformation surrounding the gender identity of Khelif and Lin could endanger LGBTQ athletes participating in this year's Olympics, of which there are a record 193 who are out there. Damn. Alright, so, this is funny. Team USA's Nikki Hiltz, a non-binary runner participating in this year's Summer Games, weighed in on the controversy in an Instagram story Friday. Transphobia is going crazy at these Olympics. Hiltz wrote, anti-trans rhetoric is anti-woman. These people aren't protecting women's sports, they are enforcing rigid gender norms, and anyone who doesn't fit perfectly into these norms is targeted and vilified. So apparently these two are full-grown women. Mrs. or Mr. Khelif is legally a woman in a country that disallows any form of LGBT identity. There's significant evidence of her growing up as a woman in said country. The same is true for Lin. This stuff of there's evidence that that these two may be women. Technically, they're women in their countries. If they're legally a woman in a country, they should be. So if Khelif were to go to another country, she wouldn't legally be considered a woman. I never heard that before. Legally being a woman. If she was in another country, she would be considered being a dude. This stuff of there's evidence that shows that they're women and they have male chromosomes and all this crap. They're dudes, okay? They're dudes. They look like dudes. Now, in fairness to them, combat female athletes like in MMA, the women, they do look like dudes, but some of them look like guys, but they're still identified as women, full-grown women. I didn't think that this was possible. Transgenders competing in the Olympics. I've seen videos of MMA fights being taken place by like the lesser known MMA companies of transgender dudes beating up women. But I never thought that they would take place on the Olympic stage, one of the biggest events that happens once every 4 years. This proves that men are superior to women when it comes to sports. Not trying to make this video be about men being better at women in physical activities. I'm just saying that men competing against women are going to be at a disadvantage because men are just genetically more gifted. And, guys, when we grow up, we play sports and wrestle with our brothers and our friends. We do physical activities. Men are like known for that. Girls, this is sounding really sexist. What are girls known for when they grow up? Playing with Barbie dolls and gossiping. What I'm trying to say is that this needs to stop. This shouldn't really be happening. The fact that Karini quit after 46 seconds is just proof that a woman can't really compete with a man. She can't take a punch from a guy. And I saw the clip. The way Mr. Khelif was coming at her, she was more coordinated. Or his attacks were more fluid. He was just applying pressure and she couldn't handle it. And now after working her entire life to get to this stage, to only be put away within 46 seconds, having to quit 46 seconds into her fight, that has to be devastating. This notion of these LGBTQ people being accepted, that's fine. But there are certain things where they should not be accepted. It's basically men beating up women, okay? And I've seen stories where girls get hurt really bad against these transgender athletes. Some girl got volleyball spiked in the face against a transgender athlete in high school in North Carolina. Suffered severe head and neck injuries. Some girl was playing basketball. There was a basketball game and this transgender was involved and he was wrestling the ball away from her, took her to the ground, fell on her back, and her back got injured. I don't know why people choose to do this to their bodies. I don't. But I do know that if someone transitions to the other side, right, to compete with women in physical sports, you are a pussy. Okay, I know that much. You being a pussy plays into a part of you becoming a woman. What's the matter? You tried competing with the dudes and you couldn't handle it? That's what comes off to me when I see a guy beating up a woman in a octagon in a boxing match, manhandling her on the basketball court. You can't compete with biological men, so you want to cut your dick off, put on an artificial vagina, and compete with the ladies. And then once you're competing with the women, you're knocking them out, you're spiking them in the face with volleyballs, you're dominating them on the court. Guys beating up girls. That's all it is. Transgenders competing in women's sports is like me competing in a Pop Warner football league with 5-year-olds. Stiff arming little boys, tackling them, intercepting the little quarterback's passes. That's basically what it is. The transgenders are the much older, much more grown and developed athletes, and the women are just the little children who have no chance. This needs to stop. This world is just going into the shitter, and it just keeps going down further and further and further. It just feels like everything is just getting worse by the day. Stuff that used to be great is just dead or on life support. It's weird. People are allowing transgenders to compete at the Olympics. I didn't think that was possible. Men competing against women at the Olympics. Anyway, I just wanted to ramble about that. I haven't really made a video like this where I'm talking. I've just been posting highlights of old football games, so I thought I'd come on here and talk about this a little bit. Please like and subscribe. That is it, and I am out.